Hello everyone, hope you guys are doing well. So let's talk about 2025 Hyundai Tucson. This is preferred trim level with the trend package. It's been now more than 10 months since I owned this car, and I decided to make this quick video to talk to you about the things that I like and things that I dislike after 10 months of owning the car. So let's talk about good, bad, and one very ugly thing that this car has. But that thing we're gonna leave for the end. So if you want to hear what it is, either you skip towards the end of the video or you stick around with me and see everything that this car has to offer. We're gonna talk about good things first because that list is the longest. This car has many good features, and all in all, I really like it and I enjoy driving it. So let's start with the outside, and then we're gonna move inside and finish this video inside. So first thing first, when it comes to the outside, let's talk about this color. So this is Hampton gray, and when I was ordering this car, I spoke to the dealership and this color was number 3 on the list. Black was number 1 and white was number 2. And now thinking back, I like that I opted for this color when the dealership called me, because I got to like it. I think it looks really nice on this car, and on top of it, it's really forgiving color. So in the weather like we have today, where it's wet, snow, slush and everything, it's gonna be a lot harder to see that it's dirty if compared to white or black. Now, talking about design, I know that when it comes to the design of this car, this SUV, you have split opinions because there's a lot of lines going on when it comes to the design. But all in all, I really like it, and I got to like it even more over the 10-month period. Again, the color has, a big part in it. Now, talking about the front end, so 2025 model has a facelift. So the biggest change are these daytime running lights. So prior models had, if I'm not mistaken, 5 of these lights, and they were kind of connected. The facelift model has bigger lights, bigger sections. They're split, and I think it looks much more clean and at the same time more aggressive. And I also like the black badge right there in the middle, and you'll get that with the trend model, with the trend package. Sorry about that. Love the contrast with the black and some light silver color there. You have your automatic headlights, automatic high beams as well. 18-inch alloy wheels. They look nice in my opinion. I would say some designs are better than others. This one is somewhere in the middle in my opinion. Again, a lot going on, a lot of lines and shapes and all that stuff, but I like it. You also have embedded turn signals in these mirrors, which are really big, which helps maneuver this car in tight spaces. I like that you have a keyless entry, which is really good. Now let's talk about the back end. Again, in my opinion, simple, clean and good looking. This car, this SUV is a big SUV, which you guys will see once we get inside. So the space in the front seats is really good. Back seats, which we're gonna check as well, is also amazing. And the trunk space, let's check it. tons of space here. One time I had 4 adults inside the car with 4 big travel suitcases, 3 carry-on suitcases and 3 backpacks, and we all had space, so you can really fit tons of stuff in this car because of its size. One thing I don't like about the trunk is the only light you have is right here, which sometimes at night it's really dark on this area, in this area here. But again, it didn't happen quite often that I needed the light there, but something to mention about. You can drop the back seats using these levers here, and then also underneath here you have some storage. So if you want to buy some wrapping paper, you have some gifts and you want to surprise someone, you can hide it here. I've done it several times, and people that I wanted to gift those presents were inside the car not knowing that their presents, and everything back here. One thing about the tailgate of this car that I really like, when the car is locked and let's say you went shopping and you have both of your hands full, you just come close enough, it will beep several times and it's gonna open the tailgate automatically, so no gimmicky with your foot underneath there. Sometimes gonna pick it up, sometimes won't. This will pick it up quite often, and it will also, if you're standing here, it's gonna pick up the signal. It happened to me several times, and then it's gonna open the tailgate. But all in all, a really nice feature. Talking about the back seats, so doors, they open almost at 90 degrees, which is really cool, and it makes getting inside a breeze. So again, talking about the space, this is me behind my seating position, 183 centimeters, 6 feet tall, and just look at the space that I have behind my driving position. And I would say that I could even move the seat a little bit forward, but I like to have a little bit more space. So again, enormous space. You have 2 USB-C ports there, vents, a pocket here, and you have the armrest with 2 cup holders. Another thing that, you know, brings a lot of light and also makes this car even more spacious is this big panoramic sunroof. And also what I like is that you have this 2-tone color interior, so you have black and white, and again, it's visually, it makes this inside even bigger than it is. Again, really good for commuting, and these seats are super comfortable, so taking the long trips is gonna be really enjoying time for you and your family. Now, sitting in the driver's seat is where all the fun is, but let's talk about a few more goodies in here. You have this shelf, although there's no rubber. I would like if there was some rubber to just hold whatever you put there from sliding. It is a really good thing to have, and your passenger will use this more often than you think. Again, talking about the space, you have all of this space here, which is also handy. I like that you have a wireless charger here, two cup holders, and here it's pretty deep and you can fit a lot of stuff inside. You have 2 screens, so in the beginning I thought maybe this is a bit too much when it comes to the screen real estate, but trust me, you'll love it, right? And the reason why, it's big, so it's easy to see whatever you want. So if you have your navigation, it's going to be easy to see where you need to go. And in the beginning, you'll probably fidget around a little bit more just to learn the system, but later on you're just going to use it for navigation, your phone, music, and that's about it. So even when driving, you can just quickly glance, and you're gonna see everything that you need to see. And it's also easier to press the buttons or make a selection of whatever you want because the icons are bigger. Screens are bright, so no issues there. One thing that I'm still kind of adjusting, because it's this section here for your AC control and the heating, and front seats are heated, so this is where you're gonna pick all those options. Icons are a little bit smaller, still not a really bad thing, but I would prefer if these were buttons. But I get it, like design and to fit in the theme of the interior, they went with this. But all in all, it's good. I just prefer buttons, but that's just me. Connectivity is pretty good. You have two USB-C in front and the 12-volt socket here, and the wireless charging port here, which makes it, you know, really good when it comes to the connectivity. Steering wheel, nice leather steering wheel, heated, nice big buttons here, easy to use. I've grown to like the design of it. In the beginning I wasn't a big fan, but I really like it. Now let's talk about the last good thing about this car. It's how smooth it is when you're cruising, when you're in city driving. It's quiet. You have 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine paired with 8-speed automatic. It is really finely tuned, quiet, and enjoyable to drive. Now, with all of that ends a good side of this SUV, which I really like. Now let's talk about the bad things. There's few of them. Going back to the engine, so you have 187 horsepower, which for the size of this SUV, it's not that much. I would love if this one had, let's say, 210, 220. That would be a sweet spot, I think. But even with that, I didn't have any issues, because again, when you drive this SUV, when you buy it, you won't go and drive it fast. But still, sometimes when overtaking or merging on the highway, I wish I had, let's say, 40 to 50 horsepower more. Second thing about the engine that I don't like is when accelerating, the engine screams. So it's not finely tuned when it comes to that. But again, in 10 months of owning this car, that I had probably 10 or 15 scenarios where I really had to put my gas to the metal, and it was screaming. But other than that, it's pretty quiet. The third thing I don't like about this is the consumption. So if I'm not mistaken, Hyundai says that this one will do around 9 liters per 100 kilometers in city. And when looking at the trip here, and let me just select the good one, since refueling it says 7.6. so when empty, when I go to a gas station, I'm gonna check and it's gonna say 8.5, 9 liters per 100 kilometers, like what Hyundai is saying. But when I fill it and then I do calculations myself, it's around 12 liters. So that's the consumption that I'm averaging. So I don't know, maybe it's just this SUV that's not showing the exact consumption, or maybe it's every SUV and then it kind of falls under false advertising from Hyundai. So my average consumption is around 12 liters open. When I'm doing like long trips, I brought it down to, let's say, 9.5, 10 liters. And the fourth bad thing about this is the electronics in this car. I didn't have that many issues, but lately, ever since the latest software update, I'm driving and then the electronics are just gonna reset themselves, and let's say at night the headlights are gonna turn off and turn on back in about a second or two. The screens are gonna be turned off and then they're gonna turn on in about a second or two. So that happened few times. Nothing to worry about, at least for me at this point, but it's been happening since the latest software update I had. And speaking about that, Hyundai comes with a Blue Link, which is an app that you can use to, you know, check location of your car, lock, unlock, start the engine, set up your, you know, heating and the AC depending on what you like and what you need. That app worked flawlessly, but ever since the software update, every time I start to do anything, let's say turn on the car from a distance, it gives me an error saying that that action cannot be processed because there's a software update going. And when I check, it says that the software update is done. So I'll keep you guys posted on that if I find a solution for it. And the fifth last bad thing is these blind spot monitoring system. It's a little bit more sensitive than I would like. So let's say even when the car is, let's say 15 to 20 meters behind you and you still want to try, you still want to change the lane, it will beep at you. But sometimes it's a little bit frustrating, but again, you can live with it, no issues. With that said, it brings us to one very, very ugly thing, and the thing that I really dislike about this car, and the thing that kind of pushes me towards thinking about changing this car, and that is this. So driver's assistance, driver safety, especially for the front. So it happened to me probably a little bit more. Let's say I had 7 to 9 instances, and out of which 2 were really bad, where I almost caused an accident, where the driver assistant saw the car in front of me. I saw it as well. I started gently braking because I saw the distance. I saw that I can stop in no time. This thing just beeped at me once, and then it's a really bad feeling when you have your foot on the brake pedal and you feel the brake pedal running away from you, and the car starts braking so hard, so violently, that it basically stops the car in its place. And it's really bad when you're driving like 20-30 kilometers per hour or 40, and it does that. So everything that you have in your car, the inertia will take it forward. But the cars behind you, in my case, I was happy and lucky because the people behind me had good reflexes, and they were able to stop, and they kept a safe distance, and they were able to stop a couple of inches, maybe a foot, you know, behind me before hitting me. And in years of driving, I never had those situations except for those 2 really bad instances where I almost caused an accident, and people behind me were honking at me, and I was petrified because it was really a close call. So what I did is I have this star button here set up, so when I turn on the car, I press this, and then I go to driving safety and I turn it off completely. I wish you had an option where you can select that it beeps at you but without braking. I would probably keep that, but you don't have that option. Either it's turn off completely or keep it on. Now when you keep it on, you have late and standard timing. Late is better because it gives you a little bit more space Standard is it's gonna start beeping at you when you're a little bit closer to the car in front of you, but it beeps once and it stops right away, which is really bad. And then also going back here, parking safety, rear cross traffic safety, I keep this on because it's a handy feature to have. But also it happened several times when, I don't know, I'm backing up or I even want to leave the parking space and I'm checking my mirrors and I see that I can, because the car behind me stopped and gave me time and room to get out. The car will pick up that car behind me as a threat and it will just brake the car for me without letting me to go, and then it's basically battle with, you know, brake and the gas pedal to have the car start moving. But doesn't happen that often, and it's not, how to say, dangerous like the forward safety is, so I keep it on. So that is one of the things, and that's actually the only thing that I really hate about this car. And if I had known that when buying this car, I would think about it. But again, you have a workaround. You can turn off the feature that you paid for to have, but in my opinion, it's much safer to drive with this thing turned off than turned on. I don't know, maybe some of you in the comment section, maybe you guys, if you have this model 2025 Hyundai Tucson, maybe you can comment on that and let me know if you had the instances where you almost caused an accident and it wasn't you, it was the system. Now with that said, I'll finish this video. Again, overall, I really love this SUV. The way it drives, the space, the options you have, the way it looks inside and out. You have a list of good things. I could go on and on about the good things that this car has, but then the video would be much longer. Bad things, you have those 5 things that I've listed, and then you have that one very, very ugly thing that makes me rethink everything, and you know, whether I want to keep this car or not. Thank you guys for watching this video. See you in another one.